Hey guys, what's up? I'm Enrique, and this is Enzyme Art TV. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a demonstration of how to draw and paint a zombie. You know what I mean? I'm basically just demoing. There's not a lot of how-to in this. For a how-to, go check out the How to Draw Zombie video. That at least goes over how to draw the zombie and goes over the muscles, things like that. So to get into it, I'm kind of using just a normal B pencil. It's any pencil will do. I know I'm going to be throwing this in the digital computer, so that's why I'm just not putting a lot of emphasis on the pencil itself. So I would say like any kind of pencil will do, honestly. I'm just kind of scribbling in the mass. Originally, I wanted a zombie that was like buff, that was very like super buff. I don't know how to say it. Like he's got a huge monster neck, and I feel like that's always my default. I like to draw that. I like to draw that a lot. I'm not sure why. But right now, I said like just penciling in. I'm trying to locate where the darks are going to end up being. So that is kind of the great debate. That is the kind of something that I'm debating in my head all the time. Right? Is the decisions you make as an artist. At this point, I've drawn from life a lot. And I'm trying to take that drawing from life that I've done and incorporate it into, like, again, fantastical drawing. You're drawing the same thing essentially, but like screwed up, zombie. Something that's undead, or I guess some people will say fat. What do you call that? Like sick from a virus or something. But I like the undead version. I think it's a zombie. Going in and trying to figure out what to do, like cave in this face. I knew I wanted it to be like, in terms of like percentages of like decay, not much. This guy just died a while ago. He's just green, and that's about it. He's got some scars a couple of places all over the place. But it's not like the other ones where he's got like dilapidated head, like crushed skull. That's nothing like that. Again, pushing the darks, the balance. I had a pretty good idea what I wanted right before I even started, especially with simple head portraits. Like, it's essentially a zombie portrait. Right now, what I did was I scanned my photo, or you can just take a photo of it, honestly, and put it onto Photoshop CS6, and that's what I've been using as for software. If you haven't used digital, I highly recommend it. It is like a really cool way to practice your painting without the mess. And for the most part, I'm using a Wacom tablet, a Wacom Intuos Wacom tablet. It's Intuos 3, and great tool, amazing tool. I can't recommend doing this with a mouse because it's so hard to do. It's so time consuming, so I wouldn't really use a mouse for this. I mean, I know some guys do, but I don't recommend it. Let me tell you really quick about the Photoshop. What I did was I threw a layer on here. I lost some information there, so I'll go to that. I threw a layer on that was a multiply layer over the drawing, and the multiply layer, I made it all green to kind of start out with. I start with one layer, and that represents kind of a wash on regular painting. And then I cut this entire head out, and I put a layer behind it with a gradient. I want that blue. I want the artificialness of that blue to counter the choppiness and the painterliness of the, actual head itself. And I think that would work a little bit better. I'm putting a lot of stuff back in here. This is where I kind of start thinking like, oh, I gotta throw his torso in there because just the measurements came out that way. He needs like an upper torso of some kind, and that was kind of a decision I hadn't particularly made. And that was something I just needed to rectify, and I had to do it in the moment there. Going in with color again, like I said, I'm not using the anything else other than a green right now. I was throwing a yellow in there, and I threw a purple a little bit to kind of see if I like those. I kind of just started to build things up slowly. And then I'm pushing, like I said, the shadows in one area and others not so much, especially the ear, the eyes, around the nose, the mouth. That's kind of where my darks are going to be. And I'm debating with the eyes whether I want the eyes to glow or not, whether that would take away attention from the, kind of glow of the sun or whatever is glowing, the yellow glow on the side of his face, the rim light. I threw a scar on his face. Going in more. and I'm seeing how the yellow's reacting with the green, and if I need to put a divider in there, put a little more darkness to divide it. I'm constantly zooming in and out. I'm flipping the canvas constantly. That gives you a fresh eye view, and you know, like it's really hard. Like and you know, when you're using Photoshop, it's very easy. You can just do the flip tool. But if you're doing it in real life, you have to put it in the mirror. I'm going in further now, and I'm like trying to see where do I want that rim light to hit. You know. And by the way, on Photoshop, if you've never used it, it's extremely easy. I only used maybe like 5 or 6 tools the whole time. Very easy. Very, very, very simplistic. This is zooming in and out, adding layers, add a new layer. When I want to try something, I add a new layer. And then like that rim light, it's a new layer. And I'm experimenting. I'm like, will that look good? And if it doesn't look good, I delete that layer and look just like the way it did before without that yellow. Right now I'm doing a clipping mask. Clipping mask is essentially where I take that head right there and I make it so I cannot paint the background. Like whatever I paint will only affect the head and not the background. That's a great, amazing tool. I throw on the red of the eyes here just to kind of just change things up. I just want to see his eyes somehow. And I'm aware it's, you know, I'm doing, what I really was going for was the most stereotypical cheesy zombie that I could think of, you know, something that's most recognizable. And that's kind of what I tried to push. Going into the neck, and again trying to pick what colors I want. Experimenting all the time. Like I was gonna experiment with like a glow of the red of the eye, and I just thought that's too much. Cutting things out with the lasso tool. That's another tool that is amazing to use. It's essentially like a cookie cutter you make, and you can kind of paint into whatever areas that you select. I'm trying to blend the purple into the kind of mass of the shadow there. But I don't know how much, you know, and I don't know how to not overdo it. So I'm like pulling back at all points. I'm like pushing in, pulling back. And I throw a color dodge layer. That's another. You can change the types of layers to get different effects, and that was just one of the effects there. Going into the eyes, and I thought it needed more darks to kind of make it pop. Also kind of build like a focal point. So I threw most of the darks within the eye, as it, you know, I usually do, and then within the ear as well. But not as much in the ear. You know, a little bit in the ear, but not. I don't want to get crazy with it. I'm going in more to the side of the face, and a lot of this point is just carving. It's you're trying to fight the thing from not turning into mashed potatoes. I get that a lot in digital because I guess digital is a lot easier to put down stuff, you know, so things tend to get messier, I noticed, in digital. At least with me, you know, than they do with traditional paint. I'm cutting things out, trying to straighten things. Things are just too muddy, and trying to straighten everything out. Going in here to the forehead, trying to straighten out, like just trying to focus some of these shapes that are going on. You know, especially with the, you know, kind of crevice of the head there. Flipping things constantly. I threw a little kind of open scar on his head too as well. I thought he was looking too normal. He was just looking like a green guy. So I need to throw something open, like somebody scratched his head or something of that sort. And at the very end here, I try to throw a different kind of layer. Like what effect do I want the purple to be? And ultimately, you know, the end product comes out with a lot of purple. You know, a lot of purple. Like maybe that's coming from some kind of board, medical board, some kind of machine. And then on the other side would be the light of the sun. And like I said earlier, I love the I liked using the blue. You know what I mean? The kind of gradient. I like using the gradient along with the choppiness of the character itself. You know, the gradients are really great. I recommend gradients as well. Anyways, thanks guys. I thought this would be kind of cool for the channel. I thought it'd be kind of different. You know, like to start throwing digital in here. Not a lot, but this is just, you know, if people like it, let me know in the comments. And I do want to know a question from you. What is your favorite zombie movie? I really want to know that because my favorite zombie movie is Night of the Living Dead, the original. And I love, 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 love Romero movies. It's like a huge thing for me. But, anyways, let me know in the comments below. And thanks a lot, guys. And stay creative. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you watching the video. If you liked that video, check out our How to Draw Zombies video. That is a more detailed version. What I showed you was a demonstration. This would be the how-to. It'll show you the parts of the head that, will show when you damage a zombie, kind of face anatomy, things like that. Check that out on this video to the left. On the right, if you thought this video was worth at least $1, donate to our Patreon. Helps us out. Every cent of this Patreon goes right back to the channel to make it better and faster and more efficient and stronger, Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.